And so that's the word that is used. These messages are of heavenly origin. Human beings are supposed to preach them, and they come with great power because they're proclaimed with a loud voice. In other words, there is no word parsing or political correctness in these messages. This is not some ambivalent doublespeak. There's no mute on the trumpet. It is to be shouted from the rooftops, no matter what the consequences are. The messages are to be proclaimed with utmost power. Fact number 4. The angels fly. Now, what does that represent, the angels flying? It represents the speed with which this message is supposed to go to the world. Now, let me ask you, how fast do angels fly? Well, let's go to Ezekiel 1. Ezekiel chapter 1 and verses 13 and 14. Let me ask you, are these messages supposed to go with utmost speed to all of the world? Absolutely. These messages of heavenly origin are to go to all of the world with great power and with the utmost velocity. Notice what it says in Ezekiel 1 verses 13 and 14. It's speaking about the 4 living creatures, which represents the angelic host. And notice what it says. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of torches going back and forth among the living creatures. The fire was bright, and out of the fire went lightning. And the living creatures ran back and forth in appearance like a flash of lightning. How fast do angels travel? Like with the speed of lightning. How fast does this message need to go to the world? It needs to go to the world with the speed of lightning. But unfortunately, it's going to the world with the speed of a snail or the speed of a tortoise. It's not because the angelic host isn't waiting anxiously for this message to be proclaimed to the world. It's simply because we as human beings have not lent ourselves to be used by the power of God to proclaim these heavenly messages of God to the world so that the end can come. You have an example of the speed of the travel of angels. You remember that in Daniel chapter 9, Daniel was praying because he wanted some wisdom about understanding prophecy that said, unto 2,300 days and the sanctuary shall be cleansed, which was in the previous chapter, Daniel 8 verse 14. And Daniel was praying because he wanted to understand that time prophecy. And if you read there in Daniel chapter 9, it says that Gabriel, when Daniel began his prayer, he left the heavenly throne, and before Daniel finished his prayer, Gabriel was next to his side. So how fast do angels travel? They travel very, very swiftly. And God wants these messages to go with utmost swiftness. Fact number 5. The messages are worldwide in scope. In other words, the messages are of heavenly origin. They're to be proclaimed by human beings with the utmost velocity, with great power, and they are to be proclaimed in all of the world. Now listen to what I'm going to tell you. Most Christians today, most conservative Christians that is, evangelicals, Pentecostals, etc., believe that the 3 angels' messages are actually messages that will be proclaimed during the tribulation after the church has been raptured to heaven. In fact, they believe that everything from Revelation 4 all the way through Revelation chapter 19 applies to the Jews in the Middle East after the church has been raptured to heaven. But my question regarding that is this. If this message